About Zen, Chapter 8, The Consumption of Suffering. We're all different based on the uniqueness of our lives. What's occurred in our lives defines who we are now, and our future will be whatever we decide to do from this moment onward. We're all made up of everything that we consume in our lives: food, sensory input, what we see, touch, smell, hear, taste, awareness, to name a few, experiences and motivational stimuli. Another form of consumption, and at times the most dominant, are our thoughts. Everything we experience in life will be a trigger for our reactions. We're hungry, so that's a trigger to find food. We're sad, so that's a trigger for tears to run down our cheeks, possibly. Our bodies remember the responses to certain thoughts and emotions. We'll deal with the same situation similarly to how we've dealt with it before. If we get angry easily, it's because one of our remembered responses is anger. The more we do a certain thing, the more ingrained it becomes. We've all seen angry people. They can get angry for no real reason, or for something so innocuous that many people won't even notice it happening, least of all getting angry. For those people, it is the learned subconscious response. The bus is late, therefore I am now angry. I'm stuck in traffic, therefore I am now angry. Angry people learn anger from other angry people. Angry people become angry because they're following old ego patterns they've always followed. We all have the capacity for anger. Habitual anger can be overcome by practicing a more mindful life. That is, to be aware of the anger or other emotions as it manifests. This will not fuel anger. This will calm anger in the present and interrupt the anger cycle. We need to look at our learned thought responses and change our habits of consumption. What are the emotions we keep fueling? Emotions we subconsciously practice will grow larger in our life. We'll automatically do the thing we're well practiced in, and if that's going into our ego and getting annoyed, that's what will happen. If that sounds like you, be kind to yourself and know that you've only been feeding that annoyance because that's what you learned worked. Mindfulness will notice what emotion is coming up. It will be able to detect when we're getting annoyed. This is a step into being with the annoyance, which doesn't fuel its power. It cares for it with kindness. In this way, we begin to change our mindset consciously with our annoyance. We can also practice our kindness, our gratitude, our positive thinking, our self-compassion. If you keep your practice up, these are the things that will grow bigger in your life. So perhaps you begin to change your consumption. Maybe you watch a lot of news on the TV and this causes despair and fear in you. Perhaps you decide to turn off the TV. Not to not know what's going on, but to choose to stop watching the incessant drama of the news. Your despair and fear in this instance are then not being fed with the dramatic pictures and headlines. You might decide, instead of rushing in the morning, that you'll wake up an hour earlier and practice mindfulness. By developing regular mindfulness disciplines, you'll find that mindfulness becomes easier. After a while, it becomes you and you become it. Having a regular routine for mindfulness practice will make it even stronger, and you'll be able to see your thoughts and subconscious reactions much, much quicker. By being kind to yourself, you become kinder to others. By being kind to others, even a compliment, a smile, or acknowledgement can be enough. You can build towards being kind to all. Your kindness to others helps them to open up to their own kindness. Can we begin to live with open hearts, offering our kindness, compassion and love to all? The traits you cultivate within you will ripple out to the entire planet. As I write this book, it's impossible not to notice that the world has a lot of anger and violence within it. In order for this to change, we must individually contain and heal our own anger and violence. If someone says something rude to us, our first response, subconscious survival instinct, is predominantly to say something rude back. If it happens all the time, we might not even notice it, as we'll become used to those patterns of behaviour in ourselves and others. We don't need to notice. Our mind jumps into action on our behalf. The ego mind thinks we've been wronged. They shouldn't have said that to me. Or, I can't believe that just happened. I'm just going to ignore that person from now on. And so on. This is how arguments begin, how anger can manifest within us, how easily grudges start. We've been wronged, or so we think, and we need to justify ourselves, defend our position, fight back. This is not mindful, unsurprisingly. With our mindfulness, we observe what's going on in the world without judgment, a very difficult thing to do for our ego mind. However, with practice, the more we do this, the more we gain insight and understanding on what's really going on. If someone says something rude to you, instead of getting annoyed with them, wanting to punch them, or plotting your revenge, seek to understand them. What made that person want to be rude to you? What insecurity or fear caused them to do such a thing? Curiosity is your friend in these cases. It stops us thinking about ourselves and our justifiable anger to defend our position. Maybe the rude person was just tired, having had a difficult day themselves, and blurted something out without thinking. Maybe they were actually wanting to inflict a wound. That too is cause for pondering why. Each act like this is really a cry for help. It's saying, I'm not happy and I want you to know about that. It's someone in their mindless state leaking out their suffering, something that they've perhaps had all their lives, something that's not resolved within them because either they don't see it or they are stuck in conditioned habits. Those leaked emotions are rarely about the current situation. Peaceful minds observe what's going on in the moment, accept it, and move on. They don't dwell on things. They don't complain about being right or feeling wronged. They do not fight. What exists simply exists. Their minds are pools of compassion and kindness. As I go about my day, I hold the intention to not harm or judge anyone or anything. Using my awareness, I notice the times when I've not managed it, when I've got annoyed at something or judged someone, and I return to my breath and to my practice. Each time my mindfulness becomes stronger, so that I'm less annoyed, less judgmental. I'm intentionally heading towards a quieter, peaceful mind. That way, I do my best to never choose combat as an option. I seek understanding with curiosity and compassion for myself and for others. Could you set aside a whole day for mindfulness practice? You'll be increasing the strength of your awareness and revealing the wonders of everyday life. You'll also be increasing your consumption of mindfulness. It's intriguing to notice any reluctance to doing this. We will make excuses. I haven't got time, there's too much to do. Or I need to spend a day with my family, etc. The beautiful thing about mindfulness is that you can spend every moment in mindfulness. We don't just do mindfulness and then fall back into our usual ways of consuming things. Ongoing practice can only come from using mindfulness throughout our everyday tasks. As you wake up, breathe and try to smile. Today is a brand new day, another 24 hours of being alive. Each breath is a miracle. Notice when you don't want to smile. What are you hanging on to? Be slower in starting your day. Lie in bed for a few moments longer. Breathe before you rush to get up. Feel the bed under you, the pillow under your head, the warmth of the duvet blanket. Once up, you can attend to your daily tasks, having a shower, going to the toilet, brushing your teeth, eating your breakfast, but try and do them mindfully. Whatever the tasks are that need to be done during the day, take your time with them. Maintain your presence. Let go of your thoughts about past or future. You are at the sink. You are at the toilet. You are walking downstairs. You are feeling the kitchen floor as you walk. You notice you are walking. You notice you are breathing. Any resistance or thinking that taking things slowly is a nuisance is another opportunity for mindfulness practice. It's only when we slow that we can begin to see our discomfort in the perceived ordinary. In mindfulness, no task is annoying or a nuisance or ordinary. It is what it is. After your necessary tasks, take time to just sit and be. Drink a cup of tea. Listen to the rain pouring on the window, or watch the sunlight streaming through the curtains. Drink your tea with ceremony. Know the whole universe is contained in every sip. Every act becomes more sacred. A mindful walk during the day is wonderful. This can be indoors or outdoors. When out in nature, just being with wildlife or the landscape, or watching the cloud formations in the sky, will rejuvenate your whole being. It's a freedom to have a day like this, with nothing to do but be in the moment you're in. Imagine staying outside until the stars come out, winking at you as the moon bathes you in its radiance. You are everything and enough in each moment. You might also decide to formally practice mindfulness in your day too, such as taking an extended meditation, where you sit and enjoy the quietness of the day, or practice everything in silence, without speaking, changing your routine and letting go of the need to communicate verbally. You could consider the day as a mindfulness retreat, a space for you to breathe, slow and be gentle in all your actions. Take time to sit and do nothing, watch the world go by, watch the day go by, and smile into being. A day like that can be incredibly restful and healing.